Are you on the go but still want that insight? Simply text Hazel Lee plus your question to 78887. Hazel Lee Psychics. No nonsense readings.
On the Facebook page of Hazel Lee Psychics. Like, share and tag a friend for your chance to receive some free psychic insight.
So I've gathered some of the UK's top psychics, logged them into one system and made it really possible for you to get your very own reading with me or any one of them. My PIN number's 5680. You'll find me there by dialing 0330 114 0110. Can't wait to speak to you. See you soon.
And now it is time to get interactive. July. If your eardrums have just burst like Mr. P's, I'm so sorry, but I'm excited and yay! Yes, I have been looking forward to this one because a lot of people text in a lot of questions. They send messages to the Facebook page and they put things on YouTube, and you know, and it has been one of these things on my to-do list to get you guys interactive. That's right. You guys are in control this evening. You're going to be asking all the questions to me, not me asking the question. Not that I ask questions. I'm really, much more of a sit back, laid back, kind of passive talker. Don't really talk very much, do I? No, I didn't really fly past anyone there, did I? No. But I am curious what it is that you'd like to know. But a little bit about me. I am Snowy. Yes, that's my actual name, Snow. Snow is my actual name. And you know what else is? I'm from Australia. I know. Some of you might be thinking, oh, wow, she does a really great Aussie accent. No. I know, actually, nobody's going to say that. Nobody's going to say that. Because even the Aussies go, interesting accent you have there. Where are you from? And I say, I'm Australian, mate. And they go, speaking like that? Definitely not. No, I am. Born and bred and very much raised in Australia. Yet I am over here in little old UK. Yes, I know, I am. But we are going to be asking some questions of us this evening. Now, if you have some burning questions on your mind and you need to get answers right now, this is not the time or place to do it. But I can tell you the time and place to do it up here at hazelleepsychic.co.uk. And the time is to do it. Pick up the phone right now. Get on the other end of these numbers, 0330 114 0110 or 0907 995 0010, and you pick up the phone and you can go, excuse me, lovely, oh, there's a piece of my hairpiece. Lovely receptionist, could I please speak to Hazel Lee? And they'll go, yes, because she's logged on and ready to take your call right now. Her PIN number is 5680, and she is very much there with her guide, Kamal. She's got a whole bunch of them, but Kamal is the main one, main man that's going to be pouring through those messages for you with Hazel Lee. She is fabulous reader. All you need to do is get on the other end of the phone and go, look, Hazel, not sure I have an exact question, but what is it you can tell me right now? And she's going to tune in and tell you exactly what you need to know. Okay, those are the numbers to call. If you can't pick up the phone, unfortunately, for some unknown reason, like maybe there's somebody hanging around that you don't really want listening in, great way to get around that is to text him. Pick up that mobile. All you need to do is send one word, Hazel Lee, then leave a space pop in your question and send it to 78887. That's right. If it's first time texting through, make sure you pop your name and date of birth, and we will say thank you so much for trying our services. We're going to gift you the first text response back absolutely free. It will not cost you anything at all to try out our service and getting a response from us. So it is amazing. Right, so Mr. P tells me that we've had some people send in messages to the page, and we have messages in the comments as well. Also over on YouTube, g'day over there on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe and your notification bell there. Hit that so you find out when we are going live. If you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, hit that like button. Share a bit of love because we do love you, and that's what we're doing tonight. We are giving back because it is a bit of an anniversary for me. I've had a couple over the last couple of months, but this one is special to Hazel Lee. Fantastico. All right, Mr. P has got a question for me from Margie. Hi, Margie. What's up? What's it like being psychic, and how do I connect with the spirit world? Well, that's a great question. What's it like being psychic? Look, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell it exactly like it is. Sometimes it can be a little frustrating, okay? It can, because daily interactions aren't as blasé as, you know, it would be if you weren't really open up to the spirit connection, if you will. My guides always hang around with me. For example, I'll give you an example. I could be completely and utterly walking down the street, and my guides will be like, just be careful, be, you know, that sort of thing. And you know, with a person walking by or something like that, and you know, it very much steers me in the right direction. But when I say sometimes it is detrimental, is like when you really don't want to know the truth. We've all had this scenario, all women have had the scenario where you turn around to your partner and you say, do you think I look nice in this? Or, you know, something to that effect. And the partner will absolutely appease you and say, of course, you look lovely, darling. You're fabulous. Something along those lines. But my guides are going, no, you need to change. You know? So it's like, okay. So sometimes it's frustrating. So that's why you don't ever hear myself calling this a gift. You hear it calling it ability, because sometimes the information that comes your way, it's not so positive, but at the same aspect, you've got to pass on the information that you're given. So I call it more of an ability than a gift. Okay, so intuitive nature. Thank you so much for your question. All right, have we got another question, Mr. P? Hi, Malik, how's it going? Oh, am I an old soul? I'm a very old soul. That's a great question. Yes, I'm a very, very old soul. Going back through very many past lives, I've been here a very, very long time. I've lived many, many lives. I've gathered up lots and lots of wisdom. And the thing is that funnily enough, I had a person come through recently on my phone lines, on your phone lines, and asked me about something to do with their son. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, my guides were taking me on a different journey with the son, going, hey, did you happen to know this was once a student of yours back in this time? And I was like, oh, that's very interesting. So, you know, as much as I'm giving out information, I'm always, always, always receiving it. So, yes, I am a very old soul. I've been around for a very, very, very long time. And I have lived many, many different lives. So that is why I guess in this particular lifetime, they've just gone straight up. Yeah, look, we're not going to hide it this time around. We're going to give you the gift straight up. There's no learning. There's no the aspect here that you need to sort of remember from previous time. They went straight from the beginning. Here it is. Here's your ability. Go and seek what you need to seek. And so, yeah, very much so. Yes, absolutely. Thanks so much for that question. So and being an old soul, one thing that you can't do to an old soul is you cannot lie to an old soul. Okay, absolutely. So it's great. It's great. All right, Mr. Peace, another question. So if you are interested in joining in the conversation, this is a Q&A with a psychic. It is my 1-year anniversary with Hazel Lee Psychics. Don't get me wrong, I've been doing this a very, very, very long time. But we are doing something a little special tonight, and we are giving you the opportunity to find out more about myself, the etherical plane, if you will, the spiritual journeys. Do you want to know about the tools I use or the tools that you could use? Because there are certainly a lot of tools on here that I use that I do not use on the live. For example, you know, I have bones that I throw as well. Yes, you know, like the old witch doctor. I used to do that a long time ago, and I've got them again. I've crystal balls, not really that common these days. And I've got other modalities as well. Maybe it is that something takes your fancy, and you're saying to yourself, maybe I'd like to know a little bit more information about that as well. So yeah, we have. Oh, Mr. P has got a question for everyone. Can you guess? Okay, and you have to be specific. Can you guess what the first tool I ever used was in my line of work? Don't forget, I'll give you a clue, okay? Don't forget, when I started, well, semi-professionally, I was sick. Well, I was actually a little bit younger than 16. I was in year 3 when I started giving readings to my friends and my teachers and the teachers' friends and the parents. So what was year 3 in Australia? That would be 12, 11, no, 12. Oh gosh, no, wait, that's not right. What are you when you start? How old are you when you start school? 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I was around about 9. Because we start kindy, pre-primary, etc., etc. I think I was around about 9 when I started giving readings to actual adults. Okay, so yeah, and then I moved on to. I had a set of tools. Well, I didn't use tools at that time, but then I had a set of tools. One set of tools that I used, and then when I became 16, I branched out and got more tools. Okay, but yes, but I will give you an example. It is not my oldest tool. Okay, it is not my oldest tool. But Mr. P is saying that a few people have guessed. Malik said cards. Oh, what tarot cards was it? Malik said cards. Tarot cards. Who else? Divining rods or pendulum. Do you know, Alison, divining rods and pendulums? I didn't pick up a divining rod until I was about in my early. I think I was about 18, 19, 20. I was going to say early 20s. I definitely picked one up when I was about 18 or so. And pendulums, I thought they were shiny things. I never really used them as tools. I think I had a bad experience once, and I just went, no, I don't want it. So it wasn't my time. No, tarot cards were not the first tool I picked up, actually. First tool. I will tell you what my second tool was, and that was in 1994. I bought my first set of runes. I actually bought this physical set in 1994, and I have been using them ever since. And yes, I can hear Mr. P in the background sighing, because one of my tools is older than him. Yeah. So my runes were the second set of tools that I had, but I'm going to let you keep guessing and see if anybody actually gets it. No, it wasn't tarot cards, but you're going to have to be specific with with the type of tool it is. So you can't just say random words. Okay. Stephanie is up next. Hi, Stephanie. What's your question? Do my guides regularly give me advice on my personal life? That's a fantastic question. And this applies to everyone. Your guides, whether consciously or subconsciously, will always, 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 always be steering you in a direction. Okay. My guides specifically, they don't really have to do anything too much in the way of subconscious nudging anymore. Not when I was a lot younger, you know, and I was much more rebellious. Me rebellious? Never. Who would have thought it? But no, Stephanie, they constantly tell him, if I have a question, I'll ask them. But being a psychic, okay, one of the things that seems to happen is, and it's perfectly normal, okay, is you tend to think, okay, am I getting this guidance, and on some occasions, am I getting this guidance because this is the answer that I want, or am I getting this guidance because this is actually what my guides are telling me? So if I have a very, very specific question that I'm wanting to ask the universe, for example, I will go and speak to somebody else. I will speak to somebody else that my guides take me to. Okay, and in saying that, it's very much my guides are always talking. Always. Sometimes I can't get the people to shut up. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes they're like, oh, come on, you need to know this. I'm just like, no, leave me alone. Obviously I can turn them off when I need to, but I have been told I've been told that some people can't, which just says to me that these people need a little bit more guidance in controlling their spiritual intuition. Mr. P has gone ding 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 ding. We have a winner. Guess what? Right. So hang on a minute. I don't want to know who the winner is yet, Mr. P. I want to find out where I did have a few little things around here that I was going to give away this evening for some prizes. What I think I might do is, well, just because I happen to have it here handy. Here we go. Oops. Here we go. My pendulum case. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away a beautiful pendulum. Oh, geez. Oh, this one looks nice. Okay. I think that the winner, yeah, all right, you know what? I'm going to hold two pendulums, one in each hand, and the winner, yeah, that's it, can choose which hand and which pendulum that they would like. Right, Mr. P. Hang on, let me see if I can hold these right so I can drop them. Right, Mr. P, who's the winner? Kim Weatherwax-Wiggins? Kim Weatherwax-Wiggins? That's absolutely right. Playing cards were my first tool. Congratulations. Yay! Honestly, it is amazing. So I've got two pendulums here. Ooh, I don't want to show them off. I've got two pendulums here. Okay. So this is my, what is this? This is my right hand. It's probably your left hand, or no, my left hand on your screen. My right hand or my left hand. All right. So one with a bracelet, one with a watch. Kim, which pendulum do you want? I'm waiting. I'm not going to move them because I don't want you to think I'm switching them out or anything. So they're here. All right, Kim. But yes, playing cards was my first tool, and that's why I still teach people today with the playing cards. Okay, I basically, you associate your tarot deck, if you will, with the playing cards. This is my right hand, Mr. P. I'm going to get back to what I was saying. Mr. P said right hand. Da, 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 da. Oh, this is a nice one. Oh, here we go. Oh, beautiful. This is a, can you see the calcite? Ah, come on, hold still. There's the cal. Isn't that beautiful? That's the calcite in a form of granite No, I'm being corrected. No, it's not. It is onyx. Thank you. See, they give me information all the time. There you go. That is onyx for you. I'm going to send that your way because I can see those beautiful calcite veins. That is for you, Kim. Congratulations. And yes, that's right. Okay, Mr. P is saying a couple of people are asking how it's working tonight. Yes, absolutely. Feel free to write in the comments any questions that you have on spirituality, any questions that you would like to know about me personally. Mr. P is going to go to a couple of questions that were sent into the Facebook page. But yes, that's right, Facebook page. And yeah, and basically, yeah, what is it that you'd like to know about this sort of industry and how it works and things like that? So I am most happy to answer those questions. All right, Mr. P is going to go to a really quick break and we will be right back after this one. G'day, it is Snowy here and I have a hot tip for you. We all know that sometimes calls aren't convenient for everyone, or maybe you just want to dip your toe into getting a little bit of psychic insight. Well, pick up your mobile phone and you can get a text message. How do you do that? Easy. Pop in the one word Hazel Lee, leave a space, type in your question and send it to 78887 and hit send button. If it's your first time texting through, make sure you pop your name and your date of birth because we want to know who we're talking to. And as a gift from us to you, we are going to give you your first text response back absolutely free. It won't cost you anything, okay? So try it out today. Who knows what insight you might receive. Fantastic. All right. So just to make mention, Kim, if you're still watching, can you please Facebook message the Facebook page? Facebook message the Facebook page. I think that's a bit. Anyway, let them know your address so I can get this off to you. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. Now, Mr. P is going to ask a couple of questions that were sent into the Facebook page. He's got access to all of that. I wouldn't have the foggiest. So Mr. P is going to ask me a question and I will say out what it is. Have I ever been on television and do I work as a reader full time? That is a good question. Thank you so much for asking. Yes, I've been on television many times in Australia, and I went recently back in January. January, February. I was on Channel 10 back in January. Actually, I did a Skype over to Channel 10 with another company that was asking questions, and it was it was nice. My hair was so much shorter then. I didn't realize how quickly it grew because I was having a look at the interview over again, and it was quite. Oops. Anyway, that wasn't the question. Do I do anything else? And have I been on television? Yes. My first television appearance, I was 6 years old over in Catherine, actually, and they were asking a psychic question. Well, asking a 6-year-old a psychic question, well, you know, how much did they actually believe it? I don't know if they did, but I was telling the truth as it was at that time. But anyway, that was up in Catherine in the Northern Territory in Australia. That was the first time I was on television. And then I went on to a couple of psychic shows over in Australia as well. But the other part of the question is, do I do anything else? The answer is yes. And it's not just for me. A lot of other psychics do other things. Like, for example, my whole life has been reading. Okay, but on the other side of reading aspect, okay, I've run many businesses. I've put myself through university a few times and gotten a couple of degrees out of it as well. I'm a practiced NLP practitioner. I'm a licensed NLP practitioner. Everything that I do a part of my life, and this goes for every reader, okay, brings in the experience that your guides, okay, basically your guides talk to my guides, and my guides go, oh, well, you know, like I said to you, everybody's got a physical guide, a situational guide, and a loved one guide. Well, that's the sort of thing that happens when you get more knowledge and more knowledge as an individual. Your guides, basically, you know, they will take that in and they'll go, okay, now you've got this knowledge, now we're going to send you on this quest. You know, it's kind of like a bit of an adventure. But or every reader, just like Angelo there, has their own experience and their own guidance to give, as well as being on that spiritual path. So if somebody came to me and said, I mean, for example, I studied veterinary at university for 3 years before my daughter came along. I'm a qualified vet nurse. So if somebody came to me with not only a pet question and a psychic question, I can answer that on both fronts, for example. Okay. And the same with business. I've run many businesses over the years, all different types, and my guides will give me information for you through that way. Okay. And that goes for every single guide. Don't discount somebody's experience behind their reading as well. Okay. And I also have the other business that I have on, physical business that I have on at the moment, which is the natural products. But that is a whole different study of kettle of fish, basically. But like I was saying about Angelo, you can give him a call. He is logged on and available. The numbers to call 0330114010 or 0907-995-0010. His PIN number is 4194. 4194. Sorry about that. I was just getting mixed up with somebody else's number. 4194 is Angelo's number. Give him a call right now. HazelLeePsychics.co.uk. That is the place to go to check out who is logged on and available. We have another question. What is the other question, Mr. P? When did I first find out why I was psychic? Me personally, I think I was born that way, but it was at 3 years of age I had my first experience as something happening abnormally. No, I didn't understand that not everybody had that. I think I was about 11, 12 when I first discovered that not everybody had this gift. That's why so many people were coming to me at the time. And I've always done something in addition to this line of work. For many years, the way my guides like to explain this, I wore a cloak, okay? And what does that mean? It means that for many years, well, in the beginning of my working life, I didn't really hide it very much, okay? And then sort of got to teenage years and early 20s, and I put this sort of cloak on, and I went, yeah, I'll do that if you like. All my business was referrals, okay? I didn't go out and seek business at all, in any way, shape, or form. And then I was told, right, it's time to take your cloak off, and I was like, okay. So I started another business, and it took off that way. I started a crystal business over in West Australia in Collie. So yes, I've worked all over the place. I really have. Now, Julie apparently has a great question. Julie, what is your question? Mr. P's lost the plot. It's okay. It's perfectly normal. For a 12-year-old? No, he's not 12. Okay, I kid you. I kid. He's not 12. Julie's question is, no, he's lost it. He's lost it. Have I ever been scared by any spirits that came through to me? The answer is yes. And if you're not, you're stupid. Okay. Initially, when spirits come through to you, well, depending on where you are on your spiritual pathway, they can appear in different forms. Okay, so for example, my main guide, who I'm not going to name, but my main guide, when they first appeared to me when I was 4, they appeared like an angel. Okay, like a white energy with the wings, and they didn't have a form, like they weren't male or female back then. It was just an angel, and as a 4-year-old, I was accepting that as a good thing, right? Because I was brought up Christian. And I still identify being Christian, by the way, if anybody's interested in that. But yes, but there have been spirits that come up in a shadow form. And initially when I saw them, I was like, no, don't want anything to do with it. Don't like it. Don't know it. But I hadn't, and the reason is I hadn't progressed far enough into my journey. So I was about 13, 14. And then by about 15, when I've done some more courses, because I did do courses, I went, well, okay, I'm not crazy. Go and be with some like-minded people. And lo and behold, I learned more. And it turns out that when I was able to fathom what was going on, the shadow people that once scared me actually took form, and they were loved ones. These were the people I was hearing in my ear all the time. Okay. But don't get me wrong, sometimes they'll just appear like that. Like there's a bloke sitting in the back seat of the car one day going, hell yeah, did you know I was killed over there? Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, no, seriously, didn't need to know that, but hey, that's what happens with me. But yes, absolutely. And it would be wrong to say that somebody in the spirit energy line of work has never been scared of something happening before. Because it's all a part of that learning experience. Am I scared of things now? Yes, I am. There are things that still scare me, absolutely, but it's not. But it's because I've gotten to the point where everything that is good and light energy, I can see very clearly. It's the things that aren't so light that I can also see now that also scare me. So yes, but yeah, I never let the fear overcome me, and that's one of the traits that you learn as an intuitive. Thank you so much for your question. What's next, Mr. P? Who's that, Mr. P? Mel's got an interesting one. Oh, you think oh no. Thank you, Mel, but yeah, okay. Your opinion is valued. Thank you. Oh, sorry, Mr. P just read that message and all of a sudden it just made me cringe. Right, and I'm telling, right, okay, let me repeat the question. How do I feel about psychics? People pretending to be psychics just to get money out of people. Oh my goodness, it makes my blood curdle. I have personally met some of these people, okay? I have personally met them. Now, half of the time, they think they are genuinely psychic, and they think that by reading into what I like to call a fluff psychic, okay, it's basically anybody can, it's like picking up on your aura, okay, and anybody can pick up on what your hopes, dreams, wishes, and desires are. Basically, they're going to tell you what you want to hear because they know it's going to make you feel good, okay. So these people genuinely think they are psychic, that they genuinely think that they are doing the right thing. But at the same time, they're not. They're just reading the energy, which is different to being psychic. Reading the energy to get you to part with your money because they know what they are going to tell you is only going to be what you want to hear. They know that. And I like to call them fluff psychics. The other hand, and I've met these ones too, they go, you tell them that whatever it is that they want to hear, they're going to part with their money, and I'm not psychic and I don't believe in them, but I'm going to do it because it makes me money. Oh, I've met them too. And let me tell you one thing that I have learned over the many, many years of being in this industry. Karma's a bitch. Yes, I said it. I'm sorry. Yes, that's right. She is, and she is very, very real. She's a real manifestation of energy, and she absolutely comes and gets them. Okay, absolutely. And funnily enough, when karma deals out her dealings, let's call them that, what you'll find is the people that are doing the wrongest, I know that's not technically a word, but the wrongest of them all, you'll find that their karma builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, this person is not a very nice person, not only in relation to psychics but everyone else you meet. This person's not a very nice person, but they seem to be getting away with blue murder. They've stolen, they've lied, they've done this, they've done that, they just never seem to get caught. But what karma's doing in the background that you don't realize, and believe me, I've been through this experience myself, thinking, why isn't this person, you know, getting the karma dealt, is the karma is building, and karma always gets her mark 100% of the time. There is no failure rate with karma. Okay, you cannot outrun her, you cannot outwit her. All she does over the period of time. So basically what I'm trying to say to you is the longer time period it takes for karma to come around, okay, then the more dramatic that is going to be. You can do an experiment for yourself. I did one, okay. You do an experiment and you see how long it takes for something karmic to come back around. For example, you know, you take a lolly out of your daughter's drawer, you know it's wrong, and you wait and see how long it takes karma to catch up with you. I did this. I took a lolly out of my daughter's drawer. It was her lolly. I was hungry. And I immediately turned around and I almost broke my toe. Okay, so literally karma was on it like that. So I already knew that it was wrong. Do it in the act. Okay, do an experiment, see how long it takes. Don't do anything bad, please. Don't do anything bad, you know. Obviously I replaced the lolly or as you call them over here in England, sweets, or if we're watching from the US of A, it's candy, I believe. But yeah, we call them lollies in Australia. So do an experiment. It'll be interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting. See how long it takes for karma to come through. Right, we've got another question. I could go on all night with this. I could go on all night. There's heaps and heaps of questions. If you would like to do this again sometime, okay, maybe sometime in the future, let us know in the comments, because I'm loving this. It's great, and you guys get to learn all sorts of weird and wonderful things. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's asked about tools yet, but that's okay. Mr. P has got another question for me. Shakti, hi Shakti. Have I ever helped with a missing person case? The year was 19. Oh God, I don't even remember the year. I know I was 12. I was 12 years old, and a lot of people have heard this story from me. That anytime they ask, what was the first time I got paid, like physical, cold, hard cash, for a job, properly. So the answer was when I was 12 years old, and I remember how I mentioned to you before, there happened to be a bloke sitting in the back seat, and he went, oh look, I was buried over there. I was 12 and I was driving with my father, and I wasn't driving, I was 12, come on. He was driving, and we were passing some plantation woods, and I've gone, Dad, pull over. And you know how, I don't know if there's any parents out there, I'm sure there are, but you know how when a child says to you something and it just makes you go, worst case scenario, what's going on, right? It happens, you know, instinctively as a parent. That's exactly what happened to my father. He's in his mind, he's gone, she's going to throw up. No reason or rhyme as to why, but he's like, she's going to throw up. As I've got, Dad, pull over, and he's gone, pulled over, and he's like, why, what's wrong? Like literally, that's how quick it took. Why? What's wrong? I'm like, there's a dead body over there. There's a boy buried over there, is actually specifically what I said. There's a boy buried over there. And anyway, cutting a long story short, my father had influence in the police force. We got the police force down. I will mention, he said, how do you know that? And I said, because he's sitting in the back seat. I did happen to know his name. He told me his name. He told me, so we got out. We walked exactly where said person, I keep wanting to use his name, but I know I'm not allowed to, said person was. And it turned out that this particular boy had been missing for many months. And yeah, he just happened to come to me and sit in the back seat of my car on the way passing through where he was. Anyway, I apparently there was, well, not apparently, they were like, what they'd done is they'd scattered some evidence, and I keep wanting to use his name, but I'm not allowed to. Boy said, oh, that's over there, oh, that's where he did that, and that's where he tied me up, and blah 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 blah. And basically I helped that way, and yeah, the family was very grateful, and I got my first paid amount of money for work, and I was 12. So, but you didn't ask me about the paid bit, but you asked me about the missing person. He was a missing person for many months. I did not look at a picture of a boy and go, oh, I know exactly where he is. He literally turned up to me, okay? But in the aspect of, here's a picture of so-and-so, they are lost, can you help? I haven't been that detailed when that person has been there to direct me. It's usually been over. I do a lot of missing items stuff as well. A lot of missing items, but missing people. They'll show me clues for some reason. They'll show me clues. My father was a detective, so I picked up from him as well. But they literally give me images of clues when somebody goes missing. There was a recent person that came to me, a recent human being came to me asking about the same question. This is a particular missing person. I don't know this person. I've never met them, but I feel like I need to ask you. And I've told them, look, this is what I'm being told. I don't believe they're missing. I believe they have passed, etc., etc. And lo and behold, I think it was 3 days later in the news, something came up about the exact thing that I had told this particular individual. So yes, I do help in those cases. I have helped in them before, officially and unofficially as well. Thank you for that question. That was wonderful. On a lighter note, how long have I been in the UK? Oh, Daz. Oh, this is Daz, is it? Daz is asking about water readings. Yes, Daz, I will absolutely do water reading. The setup for water readings, I'm going to have to get like a little stand with a bowl or something, because I don't have. See, it would be much easier if I had a dual camera, like 2 cameras, and I don't have that system set up in here. So rather than looking down, I'll just set up a bowl here or something like that, and we can do water readings that way, so you can see the swirl, so to speak. I like to swirl my water. Basically, water readings are very similar to crystal ball readings, except it's not static, it's in motion with the water. Okay, but yes, I can. And what was the other part of the question, Mr. B? Sorry. How long have I been in the UK? Too long. I mean, no, I love it here. Not the weather. No, the weather is terrible. I'm sorry to everybody that is British or English or Scottish or Welsh or Irish. The weather sucks. I'm sorry. It really does, compared to Australia. But how long have I been here? I have been here a year. No, I've been here a little bit longer than a year. Been here a little bit longer than a year now, physically here. I did come over a couple of years ago, and I brought my daughter over for her birthday, and yeah, and then I came back the next year for an interview with a TV studio, and I then went back home, packed up everything, and came over here 6 weeks later. So I've been here about just over a year. Just over a year, definitely. Was that the right move? Absolutely. I do love it here in the UK. I would not have made the friends that I have made and the experiences I have experienced. And lo and behold, we're even going to be starting, which leads me on to my next segue. Thank you so much. Here in the UK, we will be running some classes, both physically and online, that I've been told, physically and online. It's, I believe, we were talking about, Hazel and I were talking about doing some courses down in London way to make it easily accessible by transport for people. Don't get me wrong, don't worry, it's not going to be right now because of all of the stuff that's going on, but we are hoping to get it done and open by the end of the year. So we will be running courses if you want to learn anything on the intuitive side, or alternatively, on the aspect of astrology, on the aspect of crystals. Crystals was my first love, by the way. When I went, oh look, shiny thing, it just went, damn, that's it, I'm done. I've been collecting crystals ever since. My daughter, who is a crystal child, as more than an indigo child, I'm an indigo, but my daughter, who is a crystal child, you remember how I said to you earlier on, I used to run a shop. Well, I've had run many shops, but the one I used to run in Collie down in Western Australia, she would come up to people just randomly in a shop. She'd go to my crystal table. I say mine, the crystal table. She'd pick out a crystal and she'd give it to the person because they needed it. And 100% of the time, I'm telling you now, 100% of the time, she was always right. And she, honestly, have you ever been walking with a child that just randomly picks up stuff? Well, mine will fill my bag with rocks, just random rocks. By the time I get home, my shoulder's like this walking with the bag. It's terrible. I've told her she has to carry her own backpack now, and she does. It's brilliant. Yay. Yay. Point to mum. Yes, so crystals is my first love. I've been doing that a very long time. But yes, we will be doing a class on just about anything that you can imagine. Actually, whilst I think about it, pop in the comments what it is that you would love to learn first. If you could learn anything right now, what would it be? Would it be the tarot, astrology, numerology, crystals, runes? You name it, just psychic abilities, just a mediumship. What is it that you'd like to learn? Because we are going to be doing classes on all of those weird and wonderful things. They're not actually weird, but you know, some people perceive them to be weird. Yes, so that's what he's going to be doing. I want comments. Mr. P, what other questions do we have? Hi, Vanessa. Can you read on anything? Fantastic question. The answer is pretty much yes. Okay. Now, first of all, it is when you read items, it is an interpretation on the individual reading it, not who is being read for. And I'll give you a perfect example. Okay. For example, I'm coming in to speak to you. You are the reader. I'm coming in, and I want a candle wax reading. Okay, for example, I might be the person that drops the candle wax. Okay, but you're the reader. You're the person that interprets it. Okay, so you see what you see, not what the individual sees, and that's the key thing here. People will go, oh, but hang on a minute, I'm the one that dropped the wax. I see a flower, whereas you see somebody getting stabbed. I don't know what it is. Like, it could be very, very different. The thing is, though, it's about how you, the individual, reads. Folded pieces of paper, they're called paper readings, water readings, sand readings, salt readings, and another one I do. Anything that's really natural, okay, they're going to give you the best readings, okay? Animals, oh, when you see animals, yes, you could, animals coming into your life and the visual aspect of seeing animals, yes, you can absolutely take messages. Animals are messengers, okay? They are not to be read as an object, for example, okay? If it's a living, breathing, soul, human being type thing, animal, they're not to be read in the way that you would read a inanimate object like a card, for example, okay? Difference. Salt readings, even though it's a natural substance, it doesn't really breathe like an animal. It still contains an essence. Anything that contains an essence, which is why we do a lot of crystal readings, anything that contains an essence can be read, absolutely. But you know, it does take time, practice, and knowledge to do that. You can't just pick up an item and go, "Oh, this is what it is, and that's how I'm interpreting it." Doesn't quite work that way. But thank you so much for your question. Oh, Mr. P says we've got some responses to my question. My question was, my question about what you'd like to be learning. You'd like to learn the crystal ball, I'm being told. Crystal ball and spiritual intuition is very, very similar, okay? Because basically once you master your spirit, not even master, but once you grasp the idea of spiritual intuition, what happens is it's almost like you're taking the image out of your head and it's forming in the crystal ball. But when that's for you reading yourself, when it is somebody else's energy, the other person's energy is caught and put into the ball. So yes, we will do crystal ball readings. That sounds great. Crystal readings, yay! Palmistry is a good one. Fantastic. Palmistry. Oh yeah, developing the clairs. That's definitely one up there. That's brilliant. What else we got? Connecting with spirit. That's great. So we've got some mediumship there. We've got some intuitives there. We've got some physical, the physical energies. One question, it hasn't been asked, but it's just come. My guides have just given it to me, because somebody's thinking about it that's watching. Is there a difference between reading for a person like this, or in person or over the phone? The answer is yes and no. Okay, the reason I say yes and no is because the energy is the same. I pick up on the energy, whether it's a text message, whether it's me getting your comments. Your energy goes into your question. That's why it's really important to your question. Have a question, because it's your energy being put in. Even if it is just give me some guidance, your energy is still going into putting that. Okay. Same goes for if you, for example, write a question for somebody else, their energy goes into that question. Okay. So, and then I take it and I take that energy and I read the energy. That's how I read. I'm an energy reader. That's how I've always read, always. And then when you're in person, not only do you get that physical sense of the energy, but you get the interactional energy as well, which is a little bit different than the phone line or here, for example, or the text messages, because you get that you do still get that interactive energy on the phone lines as well, which is great. Yay. We get to talk and we get to find out whatever it is that you're asking about. Same goes with in person, same goes on here. But the thing is, they are all slightly different. There are people out there that absolutely, I know, that are intuitive, that will not pick up a phone to do a conversation. They need to have the person in front of them. And the reason they need to do that is because they are specialists in interactive energies. And it's not that they don't want to pick up the phone. It's just purely and simply that's what they're comfortable with. Okay. So it doesn't mean they're any better or any worse than anybody else. It just means that they read differently. And everybody is different. Nobody is better. I am certainly not better than anybody else. And neither are anybody else better than anybody else. And, it's that question. Oh, Mr. P. Yes, that's a great, yes, Stephanie. I've done that with many other people. You write your questions down and Hazel will just go, oh, blah, blah, blah. This is the answer to your question. Blah, blah, blah. This is the answer. Do you know why? Because Kamal would have been standing right next to you telling her what you've written down. My guides do the same all the time, but I'm not going to turn around and say, oh, you've written out this question, nor would Hazel. She's going to go, the answer to this question that you've got in the mind is blah, blah, blah. So yeah, and that is very much energy reading, but that's going through our guides. That's great for remote viewing as well. Remote viewing is another gift. that it would not be on our beginners list of things to learn. That is a little bit more advanced. You've got to be very intuitive for that, but it is certainly a learnable gift. Okay, gift, intuitive aspect, ability, if you will. All right, so that's good. We're going to do some more. What is the next question, Mr. P? Hi, Alison. Spiritual cleansing techniques. That is a great way. Right now, intention. Did you get that? Intention. What tools you use need to completely resonate with you and the environment. Now, the reason I say that is because you can't just turn around to somebody and say, listen, sage is going to clear up all your problems, because it might not for that particular individual. Maybe the individual doesn't like the smell of sage. Maybe they can't burn sage in their house because it's a rental property and they can't, have that sort of going around, it might set fire to something. Maybe blah, blah, maybe. There's too many maybes. So what is the answer to you? Sorry, Mr. P, what was the person's name again? Because they've just given me a whole list. They've just given me a whole list of ways to cleanse. And I'm so sorry, I forgot your name, Alison. Right now, salt water is a great one. Okay, now if you're cleaning your physical aura, if you will, one of the tips and tricks and techniques that I used to say is salt bath is great, but a lot of people these days don't have baths. So what I do is I get a flannel, I don't know what you call them over here, a washcloth. If you don't have a washcloth, just get a piece of old material, nothing too heavy, something that is porous, something that the water will be able to go, like even tear up an old t-shirt material and just use a rag that way. Himalayan salt is going to be your best because it is the purest. Okay, otherwise, if you don't have Himalayan salt, use sea salt. If you don't have that, then plain old table salt will do. Look, it really is a matter of the intention set and the cleansing aspect. So a nice big wad of not that much, but it's like a teaspoon or whatever, a tablespoon of salt in your washcloth. And then when you have your shower, start from the top and work your way down, and just it's not like washing your body, but it is cleansing your body. You do all your washing first with soap or whatnot, and then you go over your body with that, and that very much gives you a fresh enlightened aura cleansing, if you will. Ways to cleanse a room: sage oil, obviously, also lavender. Okay, lavender is an uplifting oil if you're wanting to diffuse some oils. If you're just wanting to clear out something immediately, salt water in a little spray bottle, you can pick them up for like next to nothing. Little and I would spray that as the same I would do if I wasn't able to burn sage. But the other aspect is, for example, I'm a crystal person. In the corners of my house, I have tourmaline. I have a piece of tourmaline in every single corner of my house to protect the area that I want. And in the center of my house, which happens to be my kitchen, on top of my fridge, I have a piece of rose quartz. In other houses, I have had tiger's eye. Depends on what energy that you're wanting to bring in around you and to keep you safe. But I always greet with tourmaline. Always greet. Don't get me wrong. I'm other aspects here, but tourmaline is the way to go. Yeah, and you can just pick up these little raw pieces. I get them from next to nothing, and I give them on to people if you want some. But yeah, tourmaline, great way to do it. Crystals, you don't actually physically have to do anything to the house. Intention. Wake up. I surround myself, and you surround your home as well. All right. Thank you so much for your question. Right, time for lucky last, and then I'm going to be jumping onto those phone lines to give you some guidance. These are the numbers: 033011401100900799950010. That is my PIN number 5682. There is the place to go, hazelpsychics.co.uk. I'm going to be jumping onto those phone lines if you would like some spiritual guidance. And Mr. P has a lucky last question for me. What is it, Mr. P? Oh, it's through Messenger. What are some signs of angels and spirits around you? And this one was sent through to Messenger. Thank you. Signs of angels or spirits. Well, goodness me. Animals popping up for no apparent reason. Oh, this is one that isn't as commonly known as, for example, a feather showing up or seeing those synchronicities of those signs. Those are two of the most common that I get, is feathers showing up, not necessarily white feathers, but all different colors, just feathers just randomly showing up, and also numbers just appearing all the time. One that is not commonly known is drops of water. So for example, so if, let's say I was wearing a sleeveless shirt, I'd get a drop of water on my arm or my shoulder or my face or wherever it is, and there's no possible way I would get a drop of water at that particular location, because I'm in, like, say, a room where there's no water or no condensation or nothing. That's another sign here, and that's very much to say, be careful. Okay, that is to be, that's almost like your guide saying, just be warned about what's going on in your surroundings. If that ever happens to me, and I ignored this the first half dozen times it happened, and believe me, I learned my lesson. If you ignore drops of water, you will find that a series of events will unfold that you don't necessarily need to be involved with. Okay, so if that ever happens to me, as an example, you're asking about me, if that was to ever happen to me, I would be leaving either the room, the situation, the house, the building, the vicinity immediately. If I'm in my own home, I would leave and I would go out to the park for an hour or so and then come back, and yes, and believe me, that has happened to me more than enough times for me to get the understanding that, okay, it's just time for you to get out. It's sometimes as well, like, for example, if I'm at home and I get the drop of water, it's like, go and get out, like, get out, you're not doing what you need to be doing, go and get out. It's also a push in the right direction, basically. So that's another one that people seem to. Pennies. Thank you. They've just said, don't forget the pennies. Pennies. Now I say pennies, even though I'm Australian, okay, and we would term a penny a 5-cent piece because it's our lowest denomination. Whatever your currency is, the lowest denomination of your currency, seeing that on the floor in front of you, like that, honestly, it is like a repeating cycle. It happens a lot, and that is specifically not a sign from the angels. That's a specific sign from your loved ones. Okay, so that's the spirits coming through to say you're on the right path, basically, and we're here, and we know that you're there. Pennies. So I know I use that word, but I would be at like a 5-cent piece. That's what I would get in front of me. I don't get that anymore, obviously, because I'm not in Australia. My father used to appear to me as a willy wagtail back in Australia. Now he comes as a robin. So annoying. Robins turn up. No, not the robins. The robins are not annoying. So the robins are not annoying. It's just like the constant flow of information that comes my way. So yeah, lots and lots of different signs. Thank you so much for your question. So thank you for everybody that has joined in and participated. I am so happy that you have enjoyed this evening as much as I have, because I'm excited. And you know what? I'm going to go through and I'm going to pick out after the show, I'm going to pick out a very special question. I'm going to answer it, and I might even just say good day. All right. So you never know. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tomorrow is with my lovely runes. Honestly, they are older than Mr. P. I kid you not. They are. I know they don't look it. It's because I take care of my stuff. But they are actually older than Mr. P himself. 1994 was when I started using them. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So I will be using them tomorrow with your questions into the comments, and we're going to pick a rune, see what is in your best and highest good for the upcoming week. So I'm going to say hooroo. anybody that is watching and doesn't know what that means, it's just basically me as an Australian saying cheerio or goodbye or pip pip toodaloo. So hooroo from me. Good night from Hazel Lee Psychics. Bye bye everyone.
So I've gathered some of the UK's top psychics, logged them into one system and made it really possible for you to get your very own reading with me or any one of them. My PIN number's 5680. You'll find me there by dialing 0330 114 0110. Can't wait to speak to you. See you soon.
Are you on the go but still want that insight? Simply text Hazel Lee plus your question to 78887. Hazel Lee Psychics. No nonsense reading.